and then it's almost that first half goes out the window.
Connecticut 21-7. I'm joined by the school president, Barry Maloney. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for asking me.
So it's homecoming today. Beautiful weather. When you're going into the whole planning process of putting together a homecoming, and you look at what you're getting today, does that kind of help things?
Absolutely. We've got great weather. We've got great crowds. Today also was a family day on campus, so we were welcoming back parents who have just dropped their son or daughter off at Worcester State about a month ago. And it's a very festive day. We've got alums back on campus. We've got an event tonight with our Alana alums. We had our Distinguished Alum event last night. It's been a great weekend thus far. And of course, the weather helps.
Yeah, always helps. And it's also the 50th year for Worcester State football, and there's a lot going into that today as well. You're bringing back the inaugural team that was here, and we were just talking beforehand about this tent behind us where everyone kind of hang. What does it mean that you're able to bring these guys back to campus?
Well, we want to show our alums, whether they're football alums or any alum coming back today, how successful we are, how things have changed for the better. And certainly the guys that are here representing the football program are the pillars, the foundation of our program today. And we want to say thank you to them and welcome them back, and welcome back often. It's a great time to have them back on campus. These are very successful men now, and they're doing great things in their professional world. They're leaders in the community. It's great to have them back on campus, and great to have them here with our students as well.
Yeah, and Worcester State has always been involved in the community, whether it's hosting events where high schoolers can come, or like allowing athletic teams to use your fields as well. How important is it to be involved in the community?
Well, I do think it's part of our mission as a public university here in the city and in the region. I believe that we are here to help work with our community and improve our community and give access to higher education for students and families who don't normally get access. So when a high school team comes and competes on our fields, we may not get that student athlete to come to Worcester State, but we may get their brother or sister, but at least what we've done is expose that family to the good things that are going on here. So there's an admission slant, but also certainly a community service slant as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of schools in the area as well, and a lot of local kids do choose to come to Worcester State. How important is it to try to get those local kids, recruit those local kids here?
85% of our students come from central Massachusetts, primarily Middlesex and Worcester County. We've seen increased numbers of students coming from the Worcester Public Schools. It's very vital, it's very important. We're in a time right now, all higher ed is in a time period right now where we're faced with some challenging demographics. The 18 to 22-year-old cohort is shrinking, there's just not as many of them. So we need to do whatever we can do to continue to show what we're doing in a positive way and show that we are absolutely a good alternative for students in this region. And the majority of our students still commute, and so they're able to come to get a college education for approximately $10,000 a year, which also makes us a really enticing opportunity.
Right, definitely. Now, one of the things that obviously helps that is a lot of the new buildings that you have on campus. One of them being the Wellness Center, which helps bring in new student athletes, but also the residence halls and everything. How, going into that process of thinking ahead of what the school needs, what do you kind of look for?
Well, we went through with both those capital projects, our Sheehan Hall, Residence Hall Dining Room, which opened in 2014, and the Wellness Center, which opened in 2016. Yes, they were replacing old, outdated buildings, but they really went into, the planning that went into it was really about retention. And we know that more students want to live on our campus. We didn't have enough beds to support that, so we had to build out some more beds. Our athletic facilities were dated, to say the least, and we recognized that we needed to support our varsity athletes, but we also have a growing student population that's very interested in just general wellness. And again, we didn't have facilities to support those students as well. And if you don't, yes, we always had good academic programs, but students do look at the whole package, and these buildings are a part of that puzzle.
Today, homecoming, we were able to have a lot of teams practice. They're playing on this field. What does that mean? They were able to showcase multiple sports in one day.
We're proud of the 19 varsity programs that we have, both men's and women's. It's a very robust offering, and it is part of the collegiate experience for many of our students. Our student athletes do outstanding in the classroom. Our student athletes overall do better than the overall student population here academically. And I do believe that, again, many students are looking for that opportunity where they can get a great education, but also continue playing from high school and club sports. So it's really important for Worcester State to make sure that we have offerings for both men and women. And I'm very proud of AD Mike Mudd and his team and what they've done to professionalize the offerings. We sit here today on our newly resurfaced athletic field, and we really work hard to make sure that our student athlete experience is not only on the field, but they're getting great support off the field, academic, team support, travel support as well.
Now, you've been a member of many councils throughout your tenure as president. One of the things that you were part of was NCAA Women in Sports. How important is it to increase the opportunities and support of women's sports?
Absolutely. First and foremost, I'm a dad of 2 daughters, and both play sports. One plays soccer and one plays collegiate field hockey. And so as a dad, I want those opportunities, those leadership opportunities to happen for my 2 children, and I certainly want to create those opportunities for the women here. And it was a great experience being on the NCAA Women's Committee, because I learned a lot about what goes into the thinking and what some of the challenges facing women's athletics across the country. And I know one of the focuses is to try to get more women into the coaching, into the leadership ranks in the profession of athletics. Role modeling is something that we talk about on campus quite a bit, whether it be in the classroom or outside the classroom, and certainly on the sidelines. We want to make sure that our women's teams are led, or at least we have the opportunity for women to lead those teams, because I think that the experience that those women athletes have will be improved.
Now, where does your daughter play?
My daughter plays at Clark, and we're proud of her. She had a game today, so I was sharing time between the homecoming here today and driving down. They had a home game today. They won. They beat Wheaton. We're very proud of her. And you know, again, my other daughter is a high school junior at Doherty, playing soccer there. And again, athletics has been a big part of their life in the classroom as well as on the field. It's been a great leadership experience for them both.
So you've been here for a few years now. What are some things that you've seen change and improve throughout the campus?
We have made a concerted effort, aside from the facility stuff that we've talked about, we've really worked hard to make sure that we have as many full-time faculty teaching our students as possible. And it's an investment. It's something that you hear a lot about other colleges and universities moving away from and hiring more adjuncts. We certainly have a great core of adjuncts, but we've made it a point of emphasis to hire full-time faculty. I always benefited from the full-time faculty member who was able to not only provide excellent instruction in the classroom, but see me outside the classroom, maybe serve as an advisor, maybe be able to connect with me in other ways to advise me on different topics, graduate school and beyond. And you don't get that with a part-time adjunct, a part-time employee. And so we've really tried to, over my 8 years, make sure that we place an emphasis and significance on full-time instruction. That's something I'm really proud of. And it's been a huge piece of the improved retention that we've had at Worcester State.
Now, looking to the future, what are some things that you hope to see at the school?
Well, we're working now on a new strategic plan, which doesn't sound all that exciting, but internally it's really important, because I think it's a plan that's going to keep work in a way that's going to help us deal with that demographic change that I mentioned earlier. So we're putting together some strategies and things in place to help us guide us through the next 5 to 10 years. That's something that's in the near term. I certainly would like to continue to broaden our experiences where we send students abroad. The world is a shrinking place. The market is one that students need to be exposed to outside of the state of Massachusetts, and so many of our companies that reside here in the Commonwealth have holdings across the globe. And I know that our students, as I mentioned, who come so much from Central Mass, need to have that exposure. So that's going to be a point of emphasis as well. We hope to expand internship offerings too, but there's a lot of things that all that stuff will be kind of embedded in our next strategic plan.
Awesome. Well, we'll be looking forward to that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity. I enjoyed the time.